Right. When I start a new game, when we get to the goal, we want to trigger a new stage. So the first thing we need to do is create a new stage. So we're going to go down to the stage tab down here. Click on stage and go up to the backdrop tab over here. Now notice we have one backdrop. If you've got more than one backdrop already, then just delete the other ones just so you've got your first backdrop. And I'm actually going to, over here it's got the name of the costume. It's called backdrop 1. I'm just going to rename it stage 1. And I'm just going to write S1. And you can do the same. So now it's called stage 1, as you can see here, S1. So what we want to do is keep stage 1 plain and simple. Just the floor and sky, and that's it. And this is going to be the default stage. And what you need to do is every time you make a new stage is copy this first stage and then add things to it. So to do that, we're going to go up to this little part here where it says S1. We're going to right click it and you should see duplicate. If you cannot see duplicate if you right click, try holding the control button on your keyboard and just do a left click and then you'll see the option pop up there. So duplicate meaning copy, we're going to click on that. Now we have two stages. One's called S1 and it's automatically named that one S2, which is quite handy. So on stage 2 we're going to add something different. Okay, so we're going to add a little pit. And to do that, I'm going to click on a rectangle. If I do this and change the color, I actually want this color to be the same color as my sky. So to do that, I'm going to click on this little eyedropper thing here, and I'm going to click on my sky. Now that won't happen, it won't work for me because it crashes, but for you it should work. Another way to do that, let's go to backdrops again, I'm just going to have to duplicate that again, is to simply click on your sky. So if I click on this arrow, it allows me to select different shapes in my background. So I'm going to click on the sky and I'm going to go up to copy and paste. And so now I have two skies, as you can see, but I'm going to make this one much smaller. And I'm actually going to put it down here, and it creates the illusion that there's a gap there, as you can see here. There's a gap there that I have to try and jump over. Let me just click back on stage, backdrop 2. And you can actually move that up and down, make that bigger or smaller. It is quite tricky getting used to this editing tool, painting backgrounds and things. The main thing is that you click on this select tool, which allows you to click on different shapes and objects. Now if I click on that and change the color, which I don't actually want to do, there is an option to undo that, which is right here. Okay, so now I've got my second backdrop, my first backdrop and my second backdrop. So we are going to give our cat a script. Before we do that, we just need to go back to backdrop 1. So let's click on backdrop 1 manually. Here we are, backdrop 1. I will say one thing. If you are on your backdrop and you've selected a shape, let's say I click on this and select it. If I try and move my cat left and right like this, it actually moves this shape left and right. So you've got to unselect it or deselect it, okay, just by clicking out of it. And the easiest way to do that is just to click back over here. Okay. So I'm going to manually click on backdrop 1 again. And I'm going to give my cat a script. And the script is this, or a code. When the green flag is up, so make sure I've clicked on sprite 1. Don't give your code to the stage, you need to give it to your sprite, to your cat. Okay, when the green flag is clicked, forever, if sensing, touching mouse pointer. So if my character is touching, not the mouse pointer, I'm going to change that to this flag, which is actually called this thing here. So if my character is touching that, it is going to, I'm going to go to event, broadcast, a message. So we go broadcast message 1. And in here, we click on the little drop arrow and we write a new message. And the new message is going to be called next stage. Okay. Right. So when I reach the goal, there is going to be a message sent out. So this guy's going to broadcast, which means send a message saying that we're ready for the next stage. And our backdrop needs to know that, hey, it's ready to change to the next stage. So we're going to give our stage a script now. Actually, two little codes. The first code is at the start of the game, so when the green flag's clicked, we're going to switch to a certain backdrop. So we go switch to backdrop. Now, which backdrop do we want to start on? So we obviously want to start on backdrop 1, and it's already there. If I go to events and drag out when I receive a message, which is the next stage. So when I receive next stage, my backdrop's going to go to automatically to the next backdrop. And my next backdrop is this one. Let's see what happens. So when I get to the goal, the next backdrop should pop up. Now, as you can see, it's flicking between the two backdrops that I have. So once I get to the goal, I need to send my cat back to the starting position. So I'm going to give my code, go to my code for my cat. So broadcast next stage, but also send me back to my starting position. And I've already got a block. And it's right there. That tells my cat to go to the starting position at the start of the game. So I'm going to duplicate that block, making sure it's the exact same numbers as up here. And I'm going to add that underneath broadcast next stage. What that'll do is it'll send my cat back to the start once the stage changes. And let's just check and see if that works. So here's stage 1. When I reach the goal, stage 2. Perfect. And then when I start a new game, back to stage 1. And that's what we want to have.